Hi again, it's me, Karen Holton, representing Zen Domes Orgonite. As I promised you in my last video, I am now going to talk a little bit about the quantum entanglement process I do on all of my orgonites. Let me explain a little bit about what quantum entanglement means. So let's start with my orgonite. Every piece of orgonite I've ever had, that I have now, or that I will ever have in the future, they are all linked to each other energetically. And how I do that, and I'm going to tell you how I do it so that you can practice doing some of this on your own, at home, with some of your own items, maybe your crystals, or maybe before you give away all your Christmas presents, you might want to quantum entangle them. And so I'm going to show you how to do, or not show you, I'm going to tell you how to do it. So what quantum entanglement, what it involves is I started off with the very first orgonites I had, and I grouped them together. And then I did a ritual with them that caused them to be linked energetically, and also with a very clear intention of working to the highest good of the receiver. I thought, what kind of energy signature can I give to my orgone generators that will really help people above and beyond what they're expecting from their orgonite? And I thought, well, gee, everybody's got a different issue. Some people maybe need abundance, some people maybe need better health. It could be a lot of different things. How could I know what that is? So I thought, I talked to my guides, and it was my guides who taught me how to do this. And they suggested I use the intention of serving to the highest good of the receiver. And along with that goes love and gratitude and peacefulness and all those other really lovely, lovely things intentions that really can help change things, the way things are going on this planet. So what I did was I started with doing the ritual to my very first items. Then after that, every time I acquired more orgonite, I included some of the items that I had originally done the quantum entanglement with. So the first group of orgonites were all linked. Some sold, some went out into the world, some went as gifts. More orgonite came in. It got linked up with the previous orgonite. But beyond that, I also have different crystals that I use from the very, very beginning that I still use today. So those crystals are also entangled on a quantum level. And so as these orgonites go out into the world, they are creating a grid. And it doesn't matter how far apart they are, that grid still remains secure. And the reason is because crystals, as we understand them in the three-dimensional, actually do the majority of their work in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th dimensional reality. In those places, there is no time and there is no space. So what a perfect, perfect place to link up all of my Zen Domes Orgonite. So anyway, then they started going out into the world, and people are telling me about all their amazing effects they're having on their life, and I'm thrilled to bits, but I'm also happy because I know pieces go down to Tucson, Arizona, or they go up to Northwest Territories, or they go off to Newfoundland, anywhere on continent, which is where I'm currently distributing them. It's producing a grid, and the more people who buy my orgonites, the more stronger this grid becomes. And so I just wanted you to know that's another thing that I do with my Zen Domes Orgonite. It's a way to contribute towards changing this world to be a better place, a safer place, a happier place for all of us. So that's what I do, and that's what I will continue to do, and we'll see where it takes us. So now I want to tell you how I do the process. So as I described in my last video, I take the balancing orgonite wand. It absorbs energy in through this end. It passes through a spiral, which amplifies it. It passes through the black tourmaline, which cleanses it. And it passes through selenite, which helps connect us to our higher guides, our guardian angels, and heavenly realms. And then it comes out, there's metal at the tip, and so it just shoots out this way. Okay, so the first thing I do is I balance all of my chakras and my energy centers with this wand. And I always start at the top going in a clockwise direction, and then I'll work my way down, come back to the top, and then I take a little bit more time than this to do it. Actually, it takes me more time to get ready for the ritual than it does to actually do the ritual. But anyway, and then I go from the top, I work my way down to the top, and then I'll reverse it. And I'll work my way down the front and then back to the top. And that completes the cycle. I know that in our perceptual arena, we perceive rainbows as being distinct blocks of color that have a beginning and an end, generally red at one end and violet at the other, but that's not really how it works. The photon energy actually creates a sphere or a donut, and so where red is actually still attached to violet. So what you would have is red moving up into orange, moving it up to yellow, moving it up into green. There's those spaces between the chakras where you've got different, more influence of yellow and less influence of green, and then moving up to more influence of green, and then it goes up into more influence of blue. And so there's overlap, but the same is true for the top chakra. So even though it's violet, violet is very close to red because it's a continuous cycle of color. We just don't perceive it that way with the human body. So we start off with the balancing wand, and then I move on to the healing wand. And the healing wand, again, absorbs through this end, passes through the spiral, it passes through amethyst. You can Google what the properties are of these crystals. I'm going to try to just whip through this and make this sort of short, which generally nothing I make is short, but I'll try. And it comes through the amethyst, which is a very high healing frequency of energy. So it's retuning the electromagnetic energy into the frequency of the amethyst. Please do go back and watch Introduction to Zen Domes Orgonite and the second video, which is about how shapes and symbols affect the orgone within the orgonite. This is my third video, so about orgonite. So then it passes through the clear quartz, which is very amplifying and also cleansing, then through the rose quartz, which is the same frequency as universal love energy, out through the metal tip and out this way. So then I repeat the process. You can start anywhere. Just keep going in a clockwise direction. Include all your chakras, go down to the base, work your way back up, back to the base, and you can even reverse it if you want. Keep going in a clockwise until you feel done. So there is no prescribed length of time for you to do that. You just do it until you feel relaxed and you feel energetic and you feel like you've gotten your little vroom from using the wands. Then I have my own personal crystal wand, which has clear quartz angel on the top and rose quartz in the body, and then it has the tip, which is a beautiful, beautiful piece of clear quartz again. There's also little garnets around the edges. I don't currently have these for sale. I may in the future branch off to these. But this is a wand that I also use. I hold it like this when I'm doing my ritual. So the next step after the balancing and the healing wands is I do deep breathing while I'm doing it, bring in lots of oxygen, give my body everything it needs so that I can perform the ritual. Then what I do is I stand holding my wand. You can use any crystal to do this. You don't have to have a wand, but if you have a wand, use your wand. And then what I do is while I'm holding my wand, with slightly bent knees in a standing position, I then go inside myself, I close my eyes, and I go down through my body, down through my feet, down to the core of the earth. And as my roots are passing, energetic roots are passing down through the rock and the magma and whatever else might be there, it goes down to the crystalline center of the earth and wraps around that, and then I start to draw up that beautiful, beautiful grounded earth energy. And I bring that up. I can feel it filling up my feet, filling up my legs, filling up my body, traveling down my arms, right up to the top of my head, and I pull it in my heart chakra. The next thing I do, once that feels complete, and it's up to you how long it takes for you to do this. It's when you know, when you feel complete, you know. And that's when you can go on to the next step. So the next step is, I then cast my hair, not literally, but my energetic hair up to the heavens. And I draw in cosmic, loving source energy down from the heavens into my head, and I bring it down into my body, filling up my shoulders, my arms, my fingertips, filling up my torso, filling up my legs right down to my feet, and I pull it in my heart chakra. Now, just to keep my energies organized, I tend to use silver in my visualization, because the visualization needs to happen at the same time. Quite a lot going on. If you're a meditator, this will be much easier for you, because leaving your mind very uncluttered, very clear while you do this visualization, and you feel within your body the actual effect of the visualization, it creates this beautiful harmony in the body. And so I generally visualize coming up from heaven as being silver, up from the earth as being gold. But you can choose whatever you want. It's your reality. That's just what I use. And I pool the gold and the silver into this beautiful pool of sparkling dynamic energy, and then I amplify it there. And then when I'm ready, I take my wand, I hold it in both hands, I literally feel that energy passing through my shoulders, down my arms, through my hands, wrists, hands, and out my fingers into my wand. Now I've got something that looks a bit like, energetically, like one of those cans of silly string that you spray and it comes coming out the tip. Or think about a can of that whipping cream that you just shake it up and you push the little white thing and the whipping cream comes out. So I do like that. And I see in my mind's eye, because the pineal is very powerful, and that's where we can create anything we want. So through the pineal gland, I am seeing very clearly this beautiful sparkling energy spraying out the bottom of my wand. Before I do any of this, I arrange my orgonites into a grid-like fashion. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. I take my orgonites, I take some of my favorite crystals, I take whatever I want to take and whatever I want to entangle, and I arrange them in a grid-like fashion. Then this energy that's shooting out of my wand, I then start to reinforce the grid. So I'll go round in a clockwise motion for the top. I'll do spirals into the center. I'll spiral out to the outside. And then I'll reverse it for the bottom side. So then I'll spiral, even though I'm still approaching my grid from the top, I'm visualizing that it's filling up the bottom. Then I will do different north, south, east, west, northeast by southwest motions, like like spokes on a wheel, to actually double connect everything. And while I'm doing all of this, I am radiating the intention that everything that's within my grid will work to the highest good of the receiver. And so that's what I do. And so it takes a bit of time, and it takes a bit of preparation. And then when I'm all done, I just let it settle, and I'll leave my wand, I'll place it facing the grid on the table, and I just let it all sort of simmer down and sink in and do whatever it does on an energetic level. Now all of those items are linked. They're energetically linked. And when they go out into the world, they're spreading this net of working to the highest good of all of us. That includes the planet, the little bitty bugs, little critters, the animals, you name it, the guy down the street, the mechanic, your dentist, it doesn't matter. It's the trees, the leaves, the flowers, it's all getting bathed in that. And I just think that is ever so wonderful and ever so good. And that, as far as I know, I'm the only one who does quantum entanglement on my orgone generators. And these are Zen Domes Orgonite generators, and they have made such a difference in my life, and they've made such a difference in the lives of other people. I'm very, very excited to introduce my line of orgonites to you. So visit my website and check them out, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Links below. Check out my Facebook page. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take a look at my shop online. And by the way, there is tons of free resources on my website. I even have a complete 9 steps to quantum health transformation. All the videos are on my YouTube channel, Karen Holton, K-A-R-E-N, Holton, H-O-L-T-O-N. And they're also all available on my website. I have podcasts, oodles of information to help you with all kinds of things. And all of it is outside of the box. So if you're outside of the box, I think you're going to love it. Hope you have the best day ever.